What's up, everybody? My name is Blaze Tiger, back with another video, and today we will be talking about the anime God of High School. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this anime, hands down, is amazing. The episode started off with these rich guys on an island, clearly plotting against some other guy. I don't know, some random other guy, by hitting him with some scandal. And meanwhile, they're being the typical rich slobs, sitting on an island, laughing at people, getting massages from girls. When the weather just starts going crazy out of nowhere, like I thought it was like a hurricane or a tsunami was gonna come and like kill all of them on the island, but it's something worse than that, if you believe it or not. One of the guys, looks up in the sky and he sees like this red cross, and then it just like cuts off from there to this other dude who clearly looks like a final boss. The dude looks bad, and then he's talking to this girl, which I believe most likely might be his secretary. Um, and it cuts to a scene where you can see the palm of his hand, and it's the same cross that the one dude saw on the island. So after that scene, we cut to a soldier in a chopper looking down at the island, and when you look at the island, you see a handprint with the cross on the island. So clearly, clearly, the name God in the title isn't just for show. Clearly, we're talking about some god level people, if not actual gods, in the show. I mean, you have to be OP as heck to do something like that. Then from that scene, we cut to the main character. His name is Jin. He's having a dream about back when he was a kid, with this older gentleman who most likely is his grandfather, and is basically telling him, live your life, basically be happy. He then wakes up and then realizes he overslept. Like most teenagers, we oversleep all the time. Then he looks at his alarm clock, realizes the alarm clock is smashed, so he most likely smashed the alarm clock that was trying to wake him up while he was like still half asleep. He then races out of his house with a house or apartment, whichever, with his bike, and he's hilariously flying through the street trying to make it to wherever it is he's trying to go. When he almost collides, this is like this funny scene with this older woman. He almost collides with her, and they both like started screaming. He misses her and goes flying right off the cliff of the road. Clearly, he survives. Uh, After that, he's riding his bike on the street trying to get to where he's going, where a guy on a motorcycle flies past him with a purse in his hand. Jin then looks down to see this older woman crying in distress because clearly this dude just stole her purse. Jin then begins to make up this scenario about how bad this old woman's life is going to be now that her purse has been snatched, and somehow he believes his own made up tale, and it motivates him to actually go after this dude in a motorcycle. Now, remember I told you Jin was on a bike, a normal bike with the chain and everything, pedaling with his feet, and this guy is on a motorcycle. And Jin is chasing him and actually catching up. So immediately, Jin's OP. You already know he's OP. We already knew he was going to be OP. I mean, he's the main character of the series, but still, OP. So we cut to the scene now with this young girl. Later, we find out her name's Mira, and she's asking these directions to wherever she's trying to go. The fighting tournament. She's asking for directions, and then she meets up with these group of karate men who are disappointed that they weren't invited to the tournament. So then these men are looking at him. Now these men look grown, right? And Mira looks like, I don't know, 15, 16. So these men are like grown perverts because they're like looking at her, blushing, calling her cute, and all of that. So then she looks at the dude's pecs and like she just starts to fangirl over their muscles. And at that point, these grown men stood up and started flexing, busts out their shirt to basically show off the muscles. So we cut back to Jin now, and Jin is still still chasing this dude. Catches up to him, and while chasing him, he ends up on the same part of the city or the town, wherever, where Mira is at. And I guess he's pedaling so fast that he was unable to stop. And then he hits her in the face with the front part of his bike, the wheel, smacks her dead on. Now, in real life, if someone smacked you in the face head on with the wheel of the bike or any part of the bike going full speed, you and hit you in the head, you're more than likely out. You either could be dead or you're more than likely out, concussion, all brain damage, all type of stuff. You ain't getting back up. That's basically my point that I'm trying to make. But she's just sitting on the ground on the pile of trash bags, and she's heated because he broke her glasses. He apologizes, of course, but then he speeds off. She had a clearly it was a sword. You know, we all know that we all watch anime, so we know how a sword looks when it's wrapped up in its cover. So she takes it out, tosses it. It gets into the middle of the bike, and he falls off the bike. She begins to, grab him, start yelling at him about it, and he then proceeds to give her the make-up tale about the old woman that he's trying to help out. She, for some for some reason, I guess she's as gullible as he is, believes the story. So she joins this random dude, Jin, on a chase after this thief. So they're flying through the road, flying through the road, flying through the road. She's standing up on the bike with her little wooden sword. Yeah, it's a wooden sword, yeah. Um, so then they drove past this other character who later we find out his name is Han, who has we're gonna call Han All Might because the way he punches is just like All Might. Like this man has a right hook on him. Uh, It's crazy. So we're just gonna call him All Might for now. We're gonna call him All Might. And they drove past him now, and then she goes up to attack the guy on the pike. So during her little attack sequence, typical anime where they're calling out the attack, she, she flies into a billboard. And you see her whole face print and everything on the billboard. So it was, and then that one scene, as soon as I started laughing, the dude on the motorcycle started laughing because it was funny. Even the anime character had to laugh. Like, how can you see something like that and not even laugh? So he swore up and down that he's about to get away. So as soon as he turns his head forward to basically, well, look forward, Han just comes out with this God punch. And I'll remind you, this guy is speeding on this bike, and Han punches him dead in the face. The dude has his helmet on and everything still, but he punches him dead in the face while he's on a speeding bike. The dude flies off the bike, and then basically that's the end of the chase. So we then cut to the tournament, and they're all sitting in the waiting room and introducing themselves, whatever. They all proceed to walk to the stage, where everyone that's walked to the stage, they all, they're walking with their head held high, confidence and everything, like they're ready, they're focused. And then the camera cuts to Jin, and he looks malnourished, like he hasn't eaten a day in his life because he's hungry. So that was that was another funny part right there. So the announcer gets to basically announcing, the rules of basically the rules of the tournament, and then he stops, and then he basically says, all of you start fighting right now. And so basically, it turns into a battle royale. Everyone in the stadium was like shocked, like they wasn't expecting that. They thought it was going to be like a pairing, and like teams were going to fight one another. But clearly, that was not the case. So, but oh, and you know what? Part of the rules when he was explaining the rules, the announcer was explaining the rules. They have a device on their hand, which has made the whole tournament even more cooler, that basically monitors their health. So it says HP on there, and then I think underneath HP it says GP. They haven't got into what exactly that is or what that's used for yet. In episode one, and above HP is their level. So it was like a MMO or just like an RPG tournament like thing, and I thought that was pretty dope. That they have that rule there. So with that in play, a lot of the fighters was like, oh well, I'm gonna just go after the people that are lower level than me. Well, that's at first that's what it seemed like, but clearly they may have tossed that out the window because they started going after the characters in the tournament who clearly are going to be the big wigs, like the bigger wigs of the tournament, and they were getting completely smashed. Clearly, of course, Jin and Mira and Han whooping, beating on them, and there's this one girl just straight right hook, left hook, bow, bow, and then she stone cold stunned one dude. I was like, dang, I know he feeling that one. Uh, I can't remember every last one of the fighters that was in there, but one that really stood out besides the girl was the guy with the bat. He's reading a book and swatting everyone with the bat. Like I'm definitely gonna. I can't wait for when his fight scenes come out, whoever he's fighting, to see what his story is. So they then cuts to Jin, where he's fighting someone, and it cuts from him to the above the tournament ring where they're looking at the big wigs who clearly are hosting the tournament, like the leaders, I guess, of the tournament. And Jin begins to smile at this blonde dude, and he states that Jin states that he can't wait. He's going to beat everyone because he wants a chance to get a rematch with the guy with the blonde hair. So obviously, they fought somewhere along the way, and Jin clearly may have lost or whatever may have happened, and Jin wants his rematch. So then the big wigs of who are hosting the tournament then brings in another person who wasn't there at the beginning. Now this guy, you know, clearly he's going to be bad. He's going to be like real like tough because obviously if they're bringing him in at the end, he is for a reason, probably to like weed out the weak so he can fight the stronger people. So the tournament people can see who the stronger people are in the ring. So he goes, he's has his arms restrained and it's just his legs. So he goes and he's just speeding around, whooping everybody. So Han is like amazed by his speed. Then here comes Mira. She takes a swing at him, and this dude blocked her hit with her sword with his toes. So again, the title God in the title. I'm sorry, the name God in the title isn't there for show people. These characters are going to be next level. So he takes the sword away from her again using his toes, and she uses like a Hyuga clan palm 8 trigrams palm on him, whatever. Jesus, what was it called? Force palm, and he made it look like it actually hurt him, and then she hit him with like a super spin kick, and that's when he was like, that didn't hurt. I'm just playing, and he starts to flirt with her, and then the camera turns to those muscle karate dudes getting there in the stand, and they're pissed, like they're mad that this dude is flirting with their goddess, I guess. So then, for some odd reason, Jin is behind the guy and he pulled the guy's pants down, and he's looking at his boxers, and then he begins to tell him, you would look better with boxer briefs. I don't know, I don't get it, I really don't know. Then the guy proceeds to turn to the front, to face Jin, and the front of his boxers is a picture of an elephant, and the elephant's nose is up. So I guess you guys get the reference. So, they begin to fight, and then basically the episode ends with them basically dashing towards each other to be continued. So, from just that first episode, I am hooked. In my opinion, what makes a good anime is an anime that can hook you within the first few minutes of the first episode or within the first episode, period. And so far, from what I've seen, each character that they've shown is very interesting. Of course, you have your little side characters there just to fill in, but from what I've seen, each character looks like they're gonna have like an interesting backstory, an interesting reason for why they're fighting. Some might just be fighting for fame or just to fight stronger people, but so far, this anime is shaping up to be real good. Like, I've never been one to really pay attention to webtoons, and Tower of God came out a while back, a little while ago, and I was like, oh, it's a webtoon. I was never really into webtoons, manga, comics, whatever you want to call them. But let me try it out, and I really love Tower of God enough to make me actually go read Tower of God. So after watching episode one of God of High School, now I want to go read the manga because I can't wait. I know episode two is out, but once I finish watching episode two, which I'll be doing a review for that also, I'm not going to want to wait I don't want to wait for another week to come for me to see episode three, four, five, six, so forth and so on. I want to see what's going to happen, so I'm going to end up reading this series. Besides the how the characters and the story so far, the animation is beautiful. Just like how Tower Gods, uh, the way they drew them in the webtoon comic, it's a complete huge upgrade in the anime. Which we'll have to expect that if they most anime now from the ones I watch at least all look good. So and then they have like these spots on specific spots of their body, like their face has like a red touch to it to give it like a more realistic look, give them a more realistic look. And it's unique, so I kind of like that. And then the fight scenes are animated perfectly. Like you can see each punch, each kick, and on the way the camera rotates around when they're fighting, it's amazing. And then to top it off, the comedy. Like I had to have laughed on that one, on almost every scene on that first episode, from the time he almost ran over the old woman, to the time when he made up the story from the other old woman that was getting her purse stolen, and then Mira flying into the billboard. It was hilarious. So if you guys are on the fence on if you're gonna want to watch it, if you guys are on the fence on if you want to watch it, or postponing it to watch something else, stop what you're doing and check this anime out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Check it out, give it a try. Tell me how you feel about it. Again, I will be doing a episode 2 review, and I will be reviewing the entire series from the beginning to the end. I don't know how many episodes there will be, but how many ever episodes they are, I will be doing a review. So that's all I have for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to know when I upload my next video.